If you are starting from zero, you're gonna have to Rambo your way through it. So what does that mean? Have you ever seen the movie? It's about this outsider who goes into town, and the big names in that town try to push him around, and he fights back and he survives. You see, in order to succeed as an entrepreneur, you have to be resourceful. Where some people will see a stick, he sees the ultimate weapon. And you're gonna have to do that with everything, whether it's the income level or number of followers or whatever you accomplish. Some people look at that, like we create a 6-figure business from the ground up. Some people don't look at that as much. It's everything to us. And we're gonna use that till we hit 7 figures. You know, I have 10,000 followers on Instagram, 50,000 followers on the Started From Zero, the apparel that pays you money to wear it account. Some people don't look at that as much, but we look at it as everything. It's how you use everything that matters. In this video, I want to show you a couple other ways to Rambo your way through it so you can survive and win. You're going to have to Rambo your way through it. A couple ways that I was able to do that, I'm going to explain right now. You see, whenever I started out, I had 0 followers, 0 books, 0 connections on Facebook, 0 subscribers on YouTube. But what you do is you manufacture certain tools, certain weapons, and you show the world. What I did, number one, was I wrote a book. And I showcased everything I was able to do behind closed doors. You know, having a team of interns of 35 people, building this company up back in 2008, telling everything that I went through, learning everything the hard way, some of the bullshit that I had to deal with, put it in a book, was able to figure out the system on how to turn it into a bestseller, which is actually pretty easy to do. And that's what we do for people. You know, our system helps entrepreneurs become their own Rambos. Having a best-selling book changed my life. So number one, I was able to manufacture this book from my own stories, created a cover, created everything, put it on Amazon, turned it into a bestseller, and boom, best-selling author. Then I was able to get speaking gigs. When I was able to get speaking gigs, all of a sudden now, I'm a speaker. So what do you think I did? I took those speaking events, put it all over social media. I tagged them correctly on social media or on my blogs. So if anybody Googled my name, they're able to see it. So what I'm doing is being extremely resourceful with even the speaking gigs I was able to get, which I struggled to get until I wrote a book. Now, the moment I wrote a book, got the speaking gigs, started getting more content, started meeting more people, shaking more hands, my network expanded, my wealth started to increase. Then I started to get more followers. And so whenever I hit the 1,000 mark, I broadcasted that to everyone as the greatest thing ever. So 1,000 followers, who gives a shit about that, right? Well, you can't think like that. You have to think that it's the greatest weapon ever. You just accomplished something that many other people struggle to. So you have to use it to your advantage. I just got 1,000 followers, 1,000 connections, whatever. Broadcast that out. This is the law of attraction. You are going to be a magnet for more people. So 1,000 will start to lead into 2,000. You celebrate those little wins as much as possible. But you tell everyone, when you get a speaking gig, you act like it's the greatest movie that's ever coming out. You tell everyone. I tell everybody about their book. The end-all, be-all of a book is nothing if you don't use it properly. If you use it every day of your life like it's the end-all, be-all, like it's the greatest thing. You're going out to speak and you hand it to someone and it's a big deal just to hand your book to someone or to sign it and give it away to them. It has to be special because it's all in how you present things. Being resourceful is not just about the connections or the book you have in your hand. It's also about meeting people of high value, people who are go-getters. What do you do with those connections? Do you work with them? Do you try to? Well, I try to at least. Try to do as much as I can with them. Maybe sometimes I get to know them a little bit better and it doesn't work out. Maybe sometimes it's just not the right fit just yet, but maybe down the road. You be resourceful with your connections also. So you try to do as much as you can for them for as low cost as possible to show people your wealth or your worth. So if you start to do that, people are going to say, hey, this person's a damn good person. The person does good work for low cost. I'm going to spread that person's name. So you're being resourceful with your time because you're not just trying to be a hit and get one night stand guy or woman. You're trying to build relationships. And the 5-10 minutes or an hour you get to meet someone online, or whether it's a phone call or a Zoom call, be as resourceful as possible. treat them with the most respect, get to know them, show them who you are, what you can do in as little time as possible, and don't waste their time. You have to be resourceful with your time and their time, because their attention span, very small in the beginning. Once they get to know you and trust you and you do work for them, maybe it increases. But you don't have much. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows your name yet. If your name is very popular or whatever and people know your name, maybe you have a little bit more time. But you're starting from zero, right? Like me. Nobody knows who Mike Fallat is. A lot of people still don't, which is sad. But I still have to be resourceful in everything I do. Six-figure business is phenomenal. I use that. As soon as you break 6 figures, you say it to everyone. Some people who become millionaires, you have to say that to everyone. Don't be bragging. Don't be thinking you're bragging to people. You're just showcasing who you are. That's being resourceful. There's a book out there by Tony Wadley, Side Hustle Millionaire. He said he felt some flack from people for having the word millionaire. Why? You put the word millionaire once you break that number. You're different than others. You create $1 million company. You got to check for $1 million. A lot of people can't do that. So you have to start. It is a sort of a way of bragging. You know, you hear people like Donald Trump always talk about ratings and talking about what he's accomplished. And you talk about, you know, shows and how many books he sold and all that. It's the game. I mean, it really is the game. Once you hit certain levels of accomplishment, you have to keep using it and letting the world know. You have to let the world know what you're doing, what you've accomplished, who you've worked with. And that leads me to our last point. When you're resourceful, who you worked with, the clients that you've done work for, you have to show the world. You have to prop them up. You have to let them know how much you care about working with them, because other people are going to see this. So by Ramboing your way through it, it's with your time, it's with the people you spend your time with, it's the work you've done, it's how you look at every accomplishment, it's every tool that you pick up, it's your team members, it's everything that you do. You are obviously taking something that might be very, very, very minuscule to someone and blowing it up so the world sees. So this is all I'm going to have in this video. I'm going to add more in the next couple videos about how to be resourceful. But just to let you know, you have to Rambo your way through it as much as possible. Spend your time wisely. Look at every win or every tool that you pick up as the greatest thing ever. And when you do get a win, when you do get a client, that client means everything to you. Do everything in your power to make the world see what you're doing by being as resourceful as possible. More videos to come, guys. Thanks so much. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you got anything from it, please like it and share it. For more tips and advice on branding, marketing, entrepreneurship, or for anyone who's looking to build it from the ground up, stay tuned for more.